When you're going through this process on the prospecting side of things, what was your strategy in terms of talking to the banks or financing or figuring out how you were going to purchase the property?
So Alex was actually really helpful in all of that. So I ended up working with a credit union, like a local credit union here that he does a fair amount of business with, and he directed me right to them. And he said, "Hey, tell them that I sent you. They'll take good care of you." And so that process was actually pretty pretty
Straightforward.
straightforward, which was
Yeah.
really nice, especially being new to this. I really didn't know, how much would I be approved for, what monthly payments are going to look like, how an arm mortgage worked. I had no clue. And so the credit union was fantastic with that too. And then as far as, kind of like finances on my end, it was, like where can I cut a couple corners on some different things, squirreling money away. And what I ended up settling on that worked really well for me, and it's a little bit different for everyone I know, but making sure that everything that I had to get taken care of was taken care of, and then squirreling all that extra money that I possibly could just into a separate account,
Mhm.
and just letting that be, not touching it unless I absolutely had to. And that's kind of what I was able to use for the down payment.
What'd you cut out?
My fiance is probably the one who took the brunt of that more so than me. But we didn't really go out, for dinners or like to movies, stuff like that. Just really looking. We kind of bummed some stuff off of our neighbors here for a little bit, like, hey, I don't really have a weed whipper. Could we borrow yours? And so I'm sure that they were sick of me asking for stuff like that. But just every little penny that we could set aside, you know, and it came in handy. So it was,
Mhm.
um, and we're still doing that, right? So, but hopefully we'll be able to get a weed whipper soon.
Those that stuff adds up so fast of all the stuff you didn't realize you needed. And then you're trying to go do something, you're like, oh crap, I don't have one of those. And then you look them
Yeah.
up, you're like, crap,
Yep.
that's kind of
Exactly.
expensive. And then you're looking on Facebook Marketplace to find one used that's cheap
Yeah.
that could
Exactly.
do the job. Yeah, I respect that. So when this farm came across your wherever you saw it first, was it just like, oh, this is it? Or was it, did you need to walk it first? Or what was that like in terms of identifying the property of this is okay, this is something worth diving into deeper?
Yeah. So to be totally honest with you, Alex sent it to me somewhere right around the 4th of July here, I think. And I was kind of like, yeah, he sent me the pictures of it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. And we looked at a couple pieces at that point, and he was out there walking it that day. And maybe an hour or so later, he called me, and he's like, or maybe he texted me. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's like, you gotta come and look at this piece. It's like, it's a pretty good piece for what it is, not crazy expensive, won't break the bank or anything like that. But I think it's got the potential to really hold some big deer.
Hmm.
Um, Kind of the neighborhood looks pretty good, and there's some food on it. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm looking at the aerial and I was like, man, for a part like that is yeah, I see why I caught your attention, or at least caught
yeah,
the
for sure.
Alex's attention too. So when you went and walked it, what stood out, and like, for what it is now, what could it be down the road? What are some of your thoughts when you were looking through that farm?
So the big draw is, if you're looking at the aerial, it's the southern portion of it. So there's an acre of field, roughly. It's about an
Yep.
acre, and so that was a huge draw, right? To be able to have some food in there. It's in row crop production like this year, so that's really nice. The other thing that I really liked about it is the potential for like access kind of along the east side of the property. We get a lot of west winds here, and
Hmm.
so I mean that's really nice for entrance and egress, of course. The other thing that I really liked about it is there's kind of a ridge that runs, it tapers as it runs to the east, it tapers down a little bit, and there was some bedding on there already. It's pretty thick. And anywhere that, like when I walked through there, anywhere that the sun was getting through the canopy was just super thick. And there's raspberries and all sorts of stuff in there, which just looked awesome.
Hmm.
And actually, that's one of the things that I'm hoping to get taken care of kind of next spring. Is there's a handful of really really big maples in there that I'd like to get out of there, get some more sunlight in, and let it really grow up and get nice and thick in there, to hopefully hold some more deer
Hmm.
for the
It,
coming years.
it looks like it's on a pretty quiet road, dead end road too.
Yeah, yep, very much so. And there's only one. It's like I think it's a little hunting property that's past it, and
Mhm.
so yeah, it should be good. Not a lot of traffic. Every time that I've been out there so far, I mean, nobody's gone by. So
With that 1 acre that's currently in production, do you plan on taking that out? Do you plan on making that food? What's your goals or plans there?
so it's corn this year, and we were able to work it into the contract that I bought the corn
Oh,
from the
nice.
farmer,
So you got a
which was
one
great.
acre
So
standing food plot of
yep.
corn.
Yep. Yeah, which is awesome.
That
I'm
is cool.
super excited about that. So yeah, the plan going forward is, and I don't know much about farming at all. So I'm gonna need to probably, ask a lot of questions and get some help for the first couple of years. But the one thing with the corn that's a little bit problematic, right, is shooting through it, whether that's with a gun or a bow. Um, and so I'm gonna either have to make some lanes, or I went and cut one little area out already, but I'd like to maybe get it in, part of it in beans, and something, another part of it in, I don't know, like brassicas or something green,
Mhm.
to hopefully give them a little bit more of an option.
So when you walked that farm, was there? I assume the parcel of the west gets hunted. I would just assume.
Yep.
Um, so did the agent know anything about the neighbors to the west, or did you see any like fence line tree stands, or was it what did you see?
So there are two stands. They are, I think both of them are ladder stands, not crazy close to the property line or anything like that.
Mhm.
But that's definitely one thing that I kind of wondered about. But the nice thing about, it being pretty close, I looked up where the neighbors live. They're not local.
Sure.
So if I see, a good front coming, I can get there,
Buzz
where it's,
down there. Yeah.
not that they couldn't, but it's going to be more of a stretch for them to do that. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that that'll kind of play into my hand here.
It seems like it's one of those farms that it's gonna hunt bigger, especially as you do those improvements too. And I mean, it lays out really nice. I'm just looking at it
Yeah, I'm
here.
super excited, and like I said, I mean, we get a lot of west winds here, and so that ridge kind of sets up really nice for some bedding, if that all kind of works itself out. So I'm pretty excited to hopefully hold a couple deer, and like I said, I've got a couple other things in mind that I'd like to try and just increase the holding power a little bit.